Hello everyone and welcome back to the Vancouver, British Columbia Provincial Championships. On your left we have Alex Young and on your right we have Liam Williams. The match has begun. Liam is going first. Both these players are at 4-1-1. So this will determine who makes the top 8 and who makes the top 16. And it looks like we may be seeing a repeat of round 5 with Liam's Flareon deck playing against an Yveltal build. Baby Yveltal doesn't tell you a whole lot. There could be some Seismitoads in the deck. There could be other things, but it's going to be similar. We saw that match go to a draw, though I think that Liam did have the advantage a lot of the time.
Yeah, Liam definitely could have won that game at some point. He had a really strong Flareon turn 2.
Absolutely. Gonna go ahead and Juniper away 2 Pokemon, 4 Pokemon total in the discard pile, drop an Eevee and pass the turn.
He's got that hip up on board.
2 Junipers, Computer Search DC prize can't be the best thing in the
Yeah.
world, but with Versus Seeker, I guess the Junipers don't matter as much. And there is a Seismitoad on the bench of Alex and a DCE, so he can find a way to get this out of the active position, which he does.
Jeez. And gets to attack the Eevee. So, see an N here. It's not even unrealistic for Alex to get a KO on the Eevee.
Just needs the muscle band laser.
Yeah. Or laser Burbank.
A lot of combinations here. Liam's playing a dangerous game.
Oh, there it is. Wow. That's really tough. That sends Liam back a lot of turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a knockout. It's pretty unfortunate. Liam can recover. I mean, that's a Pokemon in his discard pile. It's only the first prize from Alex, but it's definitely not where Liam wants to be. Bouncing that Verbank's a good start, and there's an N. Alex also doesn't really have much going on besides the Seismitoad.
Yeah.
Not that you need much going on, especially when you're about to have 5 cards in your hand, 6 after the draw step, but you know, neither player's board is super built up, though Alex is even ahead there. Finish the shuffling.
So Seismitoad makes it really hard for this deck to function, like most other non-Seismitoad decks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Liam's relying on things like battle compressors. He has acrobikes in his list. He's trying to play silver bangles, ultra balls. I mean, most decks, as you said, are kind of soft to an item lock, obviously, just make some percentage of your cards not work. But especially Liam's, I feel like there's a few key items that he really needs.
Yeah.
1 second.
James, go pay for parking. Pay for parking. We forgot, yeah. We just pay for it at 4, so.
That's me. I still owe him money.
Sorry about that. So there's an Ultra Ball, and Liam did hit him with the hit bump last turn.
Yep.
So that Quaking Punch just may not happen.
Audino's the secret Seismitoad
The
counter.
secret tech, dude.
So I'm sure he'll grab an Yveltal EX with that Ultra Ball. Yep.
Yeah, just trying to set up his board. You know, I made a remark earlier that his board wasn't very set up, but Seismitoad is one of those things where you can just kind of like, oh, I'll take an Yveltal attached to it. I guess in a couple turns I'll find a muscle band.
It doesn't take a lot of effort to
yeah,
get
I mean,
an Yveltal going.
with the hip bump happening and the possibility of missing the Quaking Punch obviously undoes that a little bit, but it's still, you know, Seismitoad can buy you some turns while you're building up to a real attacker or even multiple real attackers.
Yep.
There's a Juniper discarding a Pokemon Center early. That's an interesting card.
Yeah.
Haven't seen too much of that lately, but when it was first released, I did see a lot of talk about it. A way to heal through Seismitoad people talked about.
I believe Jacob was pretty hyped up about it. Jacob Van Wagner.
Yeah. I think he bought a bunch of them off a popular online retailer. I'm not sure how well that worked out for him.
So he's just debating what to do with her. Audino is actually pretty annoying.
Basic Dark, considering being attached to that Yveltal. I might just go on the EX. I'm gonna slam it straight onto the EX and attempt to attack.
Yep.
Here we go, and it's a heads. So unfortunately, hit bump plan does not always work out.
Still has another chance.
There's a Ditto on Liam's bench. Oh, looks like he's just gonna go ahead and hit bump. Unfortunate turn of events for Liam, just not drawing any playable cards besides that Ditto, and Alex gonna sit back and build up that Yveltal.
Yep. Yeah, Liam needs a pretty explosive start to deal with this deck. I think Seismitoad just builds a huge advantage against it when you have an Yveltal to build up on the bench.
Yeah, definitely. The Seismitoad is definitely the difference between the deck we saw Liam play in round 5 and this deck, and it is proving the difference. I mean, it's just been... This game's far from over, but it's just been a beating this game, whereas last game was close, or last round was close with being able to pull it off quite a bit.
So, computer searching away baby Yveltal and N. Not sure what I'll go find here. Maybe a Sycamore or something. Possibly a gust effect of some sort. Wait a minute.
Shuffling up off the computer search.
Yeah, he could look for a switching effect just to guarantee that KO on Audino. So Liam promotes his Ditto. Going to be looking for another Eevee here, but just draws a mine, benches it, and passes.
And there's a Juniper. Things just keep going downhill for old Liam.
Yeah. He's just so many attachments behind at this point. And even being behind on Eevees on board is just not good.
Do you think, are you a believer in the cut to a top 8 system rather than our old system? Because I know that at times like this, I think, you know, States would have had 7 rounds. Let's say each player was 4 and 2. I feel like one player would have for sure been in it, the other player would have been out, whereas now I think that a player can even miss on 5-1-1,
Yeah,
and the
personally,
other player's knocked out.
I prefer the larger top cut just because, well, before it meant you got to play the best of 3, but now it means you just get to play the longer best of 3. And I think that just exhibits more skill, like gives the player another chance to shine. So, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. You just play more rounds overall as part of it
Yeah.
too. I like the top, just having a top 8 from like a historical standpoint of being
Yeah.
able to rank all of the finishes, and I do think that it.
I see the argument where, like, you know, 4-1-3s or whatever shouldn't be in cut.
Yeah. I mean, it just puts a lot more stress on the Swiss rounds, and it is. I mean, I'm sure we've all been through it where you're sitting here, you know, like this match is where you're 4-1-1, so you've sitting with 4 wins and a loss, and then you lose another one, and you just obviously at that point you've only won 4 out of 7 of your matches if you lose this one, so maybe you don't deserve to be in, but it still is kind of gutting.
Yeah.
And I know that have been some events where like X1-1s have missed, and it's just that just feels insane.
I'm just always a fan of playing more games to make sure you get the best possible result.
That's totally fair. Would you rather have the best, like, instead of having 7 Swiss rounds here with best of 3, would you rather have, let's say, 11, but they're 30 minutes best of 1? Or 10, I guess?
You know, probably with the format. It's just tough because games can be so one-sided and, like, no supporters, oh well, I guess I'm dead. Like,
Yeah.
you want to avoid that as much as possible, but then again, with cards like Seismitoad and Executor, you don't often get to finish out a match.
I think the other argument for best of 1, which I'm not sure that I support, I think I like
also
best of
30
3
minutes is
better.
like no time at all, so.
For one game, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you could finish one game in 30 minutes. That's what that format used to be.
Yeah.
I feel like the argument for best of 1 also is similar to the same when they made the grinder single elimination, that with 2 losses in the grinder you're out anyways, and Pokemon is a game more based on matchup than anything.
Right.
And so it's like, if you're gonna lose a 1 game match, you're probably going to lose a 3 game match as well.
Yeah.
Obviously you aren't accounting for what you said, which is like just drawing dead or whatever, but I think the more Swiss rounds would hope that would happen less over 9, 10, 11 rounds.
Honestly, it probably just balances itself out.
Yeah.
Like,
I know Ross Cawthon has been an advocate for just increasing the Swiss rounds
Yeah.
and having best of 1.
yeah. I think if it was maybe 40 minutes and more rounds, I'd be, like, more enthusiastic about it.
That's fair.
But,
I think it's just hard when you have 40 minutes because then you're only cutting 10 minutes off, and then like how
Yeah.
much time and effort is that really saving
Right,
you?
right,
But
right.
it's a complicated situation.
right. I don't know. Again, playing more games also gives you a better chance at the best result. And like I said, that's what I generally support. It's my
That's fair.
philosophy, I guess.
I also, maybe I'm wrong in this because I haven't experienced it, but I also feel like playing 10 best of 1 games is somehow less tiring than playing 7 best of 3.
Well,
like,
the matches are really mentally exhausting.
yeah. Like at that point, like if you go to game 3 every time, you're playing 21 games,
Right.
and at the very least,
And it's so much time.
yeah,
Going
I
to
just feel
time.
like playing the same matchup is more strenuous. Although I'm willing to admit that that's just me making things up. There's an acro bike from Liam about to.
Yeah, so
It's like he's in range of getting 6-0'd, as it were. Haven't seen a 6-0 on stream in a while.
I don't know what he's counting there.
Yeah, I think he's counting
Energy
Flareon.
Crush, I guess.
So Alex has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 energy in play.
Yeah, that's actually with a Bengal that would KO the Yveltal.
And there's the Leafeon.
Nope, he's got a float stone on there.
Just the
Scoops
float
the
He's
stars.
gonna go ahead and
Alright.
the old evolve and then scoop.
He tricked
Actually,
him.
like, kind of not sure if I would have done that. I think that revealing the Leafeon is like 0.0001%
Yeah,
bad for
yeah.
Liam. I assume that his opponent would have assumed that he had it anyways, but
Right.
unless Liam's gotten rid of a different Leafeon, which he could have throughout the game, I don't think I would have made that particular play. I just posted the round 7 pairings up on Twitter, so they're a little bit late, but if you want to see, there's a lot of important matches, obviously, in the last round that will determine the top 8. Let's go ahead and check that out, twitter.com/OTB Pokemon. We're shuffling up for game 2. So let's see, who are the heroes that are left? We just saw Tyler Namora get knocked out of the tournament. Trevor Reed and Chase Maloney are both sitting at 4 and 2. According to the math that I did, I don't think any 5-2s will make it in, but they seem to be convinced that it did. We didn't get a chance to talk about the difference. I just used a calculator online, so it's possible they're right and a couple will make it in.
Yeah, Jasmine's still alive at 402.
Yeah, Jasmine Crouch is playing a winning in this round. Although if Chase is correct, 403 could make it in, but I don't think you want to take that risk when 5-2 is probably first seed or close to it.
TJ, the guy playing the Kyogre deck, is 5-1.
You mean the Groudon deck? I think Kyogre.
TJ said he was playing Kyogre.
I think you said Groudon earlier,
No.
but yeah, 5-1 playing against Wikiga 5-1. You gotta believe that they'll
ID.
go ahead and ID. What table are they at? I want to see if I can see them from here. Yeah, they're at table 1. They just went ahead and ID'd, so they'll be both making the top 8.
And Sam Huff versus Kabir, 2 senior, or like ex-senior players, I guess, obviously, since they're in Masters now.
Yeah.
4-1-1, playing against each other.
Oh, I guess they're playing a winning in as well.
Yeah. Both have had, like, small amounts of success in Masters. Nothing too impressive, though.
Yeah, Kabir had like a pretty good run at states and regionals last year. I think he ended up top 8ing / top 4ing 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
But couldn't snag the invite. I'm not sure what Sam's in Masters, but I know he definitely tore up the Oregon and senior division.
He crushed seniors.
Eric Walleg, who is a newer player from Washington, who's good friends with Paul Johnson, is sitting at 4-2 versus Jason Larrabee, who we had on stream. So one of them will be making the top 8. David Cohen sitting at 3-2-1. His opponent's 2-1-3, so I have to believe he'll concede, which will leave it to 4-2-1. Still not good enough. Probably good enough for a top 16. And the match is underway. Liam goes first. Starts execute. Battle compresses away some dead cards.
Mine and the 2 Empoleons. Maybe we'll get to see that Archie's again.
I assume getting rid of the mime there means that the other egg is prized. Because I think the mime has like some utility versus Darkrai if Alex is playing that. And there's an Ultra Ball getting rid of a Jirachi, playing the other Jirachi, Stellar Guidance. Oh, Archie's
nice.
Can he get it? There's the Bangle, there's the DC, and there's the Archies. Put the stage 2 into play, draw 5. That's the second time we've seen Liam do that on turn 1.
That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and discard the Ditto, go to 4 Pokemon in the discard pile.
Yep.
Alright, discarding the Ditto off of the Empoleon ability, of course. There's a town map, egg is prize, as we suspected. And this is certainly an explosive start from Liam. Definitely better than last game. I think he's probably played more cards this game than this turn than his last game combined. Gonna leave the egg active and go ahead and ship the turn back to Alex.
Yep.
There's an Ultra Ball getting rid of a Colorus and a Darkness Energy.
Curious to what he's going to search for here. Seismitoad is a good option. So is Yveltal. It might be a little too late with such a good start from Liam for Seismitoad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends what the rest of Liam's hand is. He does have that diving draw online, so he's going to be able to draw multiple cards per turn, but if that Seismitoad gets out this turn, it's still going to put a hurt in Liam's plans, although drawing Liam some more cards, giving Liam some more cards rather off that end is never ideal. Especially as Alex already has the muscle band on the Seismitoad, so he's ready to respond to that Flareon unless the Flareon can get a one-hit KO on it.
Or the stadium.
Yes, the training center.
Yeah, Alex can always counter the stadium as well with Burbank. So, benches the Yveltal EX, attaches the muscle band as well. Probably just going to ship the turnover.
I have to imagine if he had a way to switch, he would have done so already.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Burbank Laser. Going to go ahead and take a prize.
And Liam's just going to try to play as many cards as he possibly can this turn.
Yeah, he just has to avoid that. Avoid getting too blown up by Quaking Punch. Looks like 4 Pokemon in the discard pile.
He was able to get the Bengal onto EB already.
Yeah, that was important.
He sends up Jirachi. Suppose he has the Float Stone. Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he decides to do here. This is a little bit of an awkward turn, since it's going to be kind of difficult to KO the Spiritomb with Empoleon, and you don't really want to send the Flareon up just to KO Spiritomb.
Yeah, definitely. You also have to find the Flareon in the first place, but yeah, you definitely don't want to. You can actually vault to Leafeon.
Alright.
Flareon there. DCE. And there's the Ultra Ball. Pretty soon these decks will be able to Ultra Ball for a Shaman EX and refill their hand back to 6.
Oh man, the next set is insane.
There's the Versus Seeker for the old Archies.
Gotta love that. Nice.
Boom, draw 5. Ah, that's so beautiful.
He's got the double diving draw. With
Such
basic
Oh my
Empoleons.
gosh, this elegant card design.
It's a stroke of genius.
It really is.
So now it's far more reasonable to KO the Spiritomb with Flareon. No, he just ships the turn though, which is fair enough.
I think he's just trying to kind of
He may as well stabilize a little more while he can. Like,
yeah, let Alex make the first move. He definitely, you know, Quaking Punch isn't a non-zero at this point, but he has his board set up reasonably okay for now. And he's going to be able to go through his resources, or sorry, get his resources with Empoleon.
Yep.
So kind of let Alex make the first move.
And Empoleon's super good against Seismitoad here. Like, that damage is pretty negligible onto Empoleon.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be two-shotting Seismitoad.
We do have the trump card there. Going to go ahead and reset all the Flareon effects, which is relevant.
Yep.
Just got word that Simon Erode got second at the main states.
Nice,
so
nice. I miss that boy.
Oregon player who got second at Worlds in 2013. Liam having not too big of an issue refilling his discard pile with Pokemon. Taking an execute there. I think if you're Liam, if you can find the energy, you just want to attack with Empoleon this turn.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you have another one set up, you have other attackers set up.
There's not really much else you're going to be doing at this point, other than evolving that Eevee, so...
Man, propagate into double diving draw is just 4 for 0.
Dream World would be the water energy, which he has, and then a gust effect onto the Seismitoad.
Well, we can't have everything. Looks like he's going to dump a Jirachi, and I assume just 2 other Pokemon into the discard to build up his potential Flareon. This is a really good rebuilding turn after that Lysander. I mean, Liam did have a full hand, but he just have the 2 Empoleons, obviously, which kind of make every turn a good rebuilding turn.
Alright, we see Liam contemplating what to do, counting his absurd Flareon damage.
I mean, my only fear about attacking with Flareon here is just that it's the only one of your attackers that can really go big.
Yeah.
So I think Liam's correct in sending up Empoleon, even though we said him, like we said before, Empoleon's good against Seismitoad as well. And Empoleon's doing currently Liam's next turn, or right now I guess, would be doing 90. So it's definitely gonna trade a little bit. Trade up a bit. And I think Liam's even happy enough to just see that basic Yveltal up there. Just letting, assuming Alex does nothing else, letting Liam take another prize, getting down even prizes, getting ahead on prizes, and then Alex's board can't change that much. I mean, he might attach an energy to the Yveltal or something.
We see Computer Search discarding the Pokemon Center Lady and the Seismitoad.
I actually think Pokemon Center Lady might be pretty good here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, if he does 100, like a Liam were to do 100 to Empoleon, Alex heals 60 off with Pokemon Center Lady, another 100. I mean, I guess it just buys you a turn either way, but that seems sort of important. I'm sure whatever he decided to Computer Search for was more important. Didn't seem terrible. And there's a Juniper. Just as a reminder, this is the final Swiss round, so once this round concludes, we'll take a short break, post a top 8 on our social media, have you guys vote on which match you'd like to see, and then get the top 8 rolling. This event's been run very well, as most Northwest events are, but 7 o'clock, we could be out of here by 10:30 or 11.
So we're just going to see the baby Yveltal attacking. 50. That's not bad, but
That's not hard to do, but still.
not great either.
Yeah, I don't think Liam can knock it out this turn.
Yeah.
Gonna go ahead and do 90, assuming nothing changes. And yeah, both players kind of playing at a fairly slow pace. And you know, with Alex up a game this round, could be in fear of going to a draw. We did see no draws for the first 4 rounds of stream, or for the first 3, and then 2 draws in a row. Pretty unfortunate.
That's a really nice Lysander.
Yeah, Lysander on the Seismitoad there is taking care of the real threat on the board.
Yeah, so he can start trading with the Seismitoad a little earlier. Liam attaching to the Empoleon so he can retreat if necessary, I suppose.
Oh, I think he might actually just retreat this turn if he has enough Flareon damage.
Yeah,
I'd have to...
that's true.
I don't know how much Flareon damage he has, but I could see a world where he just retreats, takes a knockout with Flareon. The thing that's most likely to knock out Flareon is gone. Taking 2 prizes there. I don't... I guess the Yveltal couldn't. He needs 2 energy for that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, as I said, Liam has much more experience with this deck than me. I'm not sure even what his Flareon Flareon damage is going to be, but I could definitely see that play. It's taking care of the best attacker.
He is going to retreat, but for the Leafeon.
Can knock it out with that as well. It's going to do...
I think it's only 140.
No, because it is the Bengal weakness, right? So we can
40,
go...
So it's 40 plus 30.
No. So he's going to go ahead and do 20, 40, 60.
Oh, I missed the other.
And then,
yeah, the other energy inside.
And then
okay.
the Bengal with a 90,
Gotcha.
so it's 180. And that's even better, really. Like, Leafeon is not your main attacker in this deck. I guess I didn't see that line before, but now he's sitting back on the Empoleon and the Flareon.
Liam might actually be able to finish this one up quickly enough to get a reasonable game 3 in. But
it's possible, and
still
it's going to be tough for Liam if this game does go to a draw. I don't want to focus on that too much over these last few rounds. I know it's been a topic of debate, but again, a draw will knock both of these players out.
maybe they'll RPS for it.
Hopefully not. I mean, it's also, I guess, possible if 15 points can make it in. I guess it's possible if enough 4-1-1s draw that it brings that down a bit, and a 4-1-2s can make it in off 14 points. I don't think that's a very good strategy to stick to, but it's not impossible. Ultra Ball for Alex. Man, Ultra Ball discard a golden Ultra Ball discarding 2 other golden cards. Wow. What do you think of do you care about rarity at all, or pretty
nice
cards
looking.
or anything? Yeah, I think they're pretty cool as well.
I just always played what I would get, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Personally, I don't care too much what's in my deck.
That's fair. I mean, it's kind of funny when like a normal Ultra Ball is like $3 and that one's $30. I guess I'd rather have that than cards that only get printed at super rare and are like 30 to begin with.
Definitely.
Juniper for Alex. DCE on the Yveltal EX. Gonna go ahead and do 50.
Yep.
Diving draw. Diving draw. Liam choosing not to propagate just to get more Pokemon in the old discard pile.
I have to assume he's going to KO the baby Yveltal with Flareon here.
He has a Lysander in hand. Unless something happened, I believe he reverse secret for it last turn.
Right. Well, I'll just do that then.
Yeah, go ahead and take out that other Yveltal. Looks like he has. Gonna do some more stuff first. I'll go ahead and take a look through his deck. Because I think it was a silver Bengal, but don't hold me to that. I couldn't quite see. There's the Bengal on the Flareon. There's the Lysander.
And Alex isn't even going to be able to respond to this Flareon, so...
Unfortunately for Alex, he is not. So there must be at least 13 Pokemon in the discard pile, because 20 plus 130 is 150 plus the... Or sorry, it must be at least 12. So 3, 6, 9, 12, yeah.
Yep.
And there's the knockout. And yeah, Alex is going to go ahead and concede. I think he was trying to see if the match would end with him winning 1-0. Unfortunately, it didn't. Liam's going to take game 2, and it's going to... I don't know. It's going to require... We saw Liam... if time was plus 5 turns... Yeah, if time had been plus 5 turns in one of the games, Liam would have been able to win. So, who knows? We still have some time left in this match. We'll see what's happening. Players shuffling up. What's your favorite deck of all time, Amelia?
Probably Lux Jump, I suppose.
Fair enough. It's weird, because I've always, when I first started playing, I hung around people like you and Tyler and Ross and David and all these people who've been playing for much longer than me, and so I think of myself as still a newish player. Like, there's cards people will name that I don't know, or formats that I forget, and now when I talk about SPs back in 2010, people act like I'm an older player, and so and to me that just like SPs feels like last format or whatever.
Really weird.
Now I probably maybe not the majority, but I know a lot of players who never played in the SP era, and even never played in like Durant era or anything. It's really strange.
I started on the end of the first EX era.
So like 2008?
That's like ancient for a lot of players now.
2007?
Yeah, 2008. Yeah, how about you?
My favorite deck?
Yeah.
Probably the Excelgor Vileplume deck from that. I mean, the deck I played the most was definitely Lux Chomp, followed by Dialga Chomp.
Yeah. Which
Dialga Chomp was a really fun deck as well. But I think I really like for those of you who don't know, the Excelgor was the Excelgor that's was just legal, the one that poisons and paralyzes goes back into your deck. Vileplume was a stage 2 that when it was on your bench, no one could play item cards, and you basically could get a lock up where your opponent couldn't win the game. It was just very similar to the one that played Trevenant, except for this one was harder and you could lose because you didn't have Dusknoir yet. You only had the Noble Victory Chandelure that spread 3, so you didn't have perfect manipulation.
Yep.
And I don't know, as far as like fun decks go, I like decks where I'm behind and like constantly going to lose and have to like really think and play perfectly.
Your way out of it.
Yeah.
I liked Scissor Prime a lot too, but that was just a kind of silly, almost.
The deck won states.
Yeah, it did win states.
Won Oregon states, yeah. The Dialga Chomp was fun though, as far as decks that were like good for a long time that I played for a long time. Hard to play, pretty controlling. Could be slow, could be fast.
Yeah, I like Dialga Chomp a lot too. Although I got double donked out of a top 8 at regionals with that deck because of unknown Q.
Dang.
The Bitterberries.
I lost that regionals that we played. I lost to Gengar in the top 8 or top 16, and I lost for a multitude of reasons. But what did me in was when I had to attack into a Gengar with Feigning Spell, and he made the Feigning Spell flip.
Mm-hmm. So we see Battle Compressor discards 2 Empoleons and Jirachi, which is an interesting choice. Alex had a strong start with Muscle Band on a Seismitoad and a Dark Energy, so he'll more than likely have Quaking Punch next turn.
I think it's a DCE, actually.
Is it?
No, it's a Dark Energy.
Okay.
You're right.
I can't tell. It's so hard to see. Liam gets a strong start as well with Ultra Ball,
Yeah, there's
Battle
about
Compressor.
15 cards that have been played from Liam's deck and or hand. And it looks like he's going to get the Archies as well.
Yep.
Dropping a card.
Ooh, the Audino. Heal in the Audino. Well, Liam gets the combo off. See the turn 1 Empoleon.
God, Maxies and Archies are so sweet. I called them unplayable because I actually thought they were unplayable, but I mean, I would say that they're fringe playable, so I'm not exactly off the mark.
Yeah.
But
And hip bump again, going to be kind of annoying here.
yeah, potentially preventing him from getting the Quaking Punch off. But I guess, I mean, I don't know. I think Alex can use the Cybertoad in much the same way, except for the fact that he's not going to be able to slow Liam down. It's just going to be a wall to stand behind for a bit, which is obviously the most important part of Cybertoad. But I think that if he can still stall for a couple of turns, he can be fine. And wow, early Lysander's trump card.
I'm sure he's just hoping to lock him with the Toad. But he does have the Empoleon on board, so it's not totally dead.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It is going to undo all those work Battle Compressors did, and if he hits the Quaking Punch here, he will lock those Battle Compressors out of the game, for at least for the time being. But you usually don't see one just fired off that early like that. He must not have any other supporters in his hand. I can't believe that he would rather do that than just advance his board naturally.
Yeah.
Double colorless on the Yveltal.
Yeah, so you have to assume Alex's hand is pretty bad here, right?
That must just be a double colorless on the sides. I guess I apologize for that. It looked like a dark to me.
It really does.
He hits tails though,
Yeah,
so Liam is going to have a turn of supporters.
Yep.
Sorry, turn of items.
And it's actually in Leafeon KO range.
That's true. Just needs to find a way to get the Audino out of the active.
He needs 30 more damage, so he does still need the Pangle as well. He gets the other Audino.
No, he doesn't. He has a DC on both Pokemon.
Oh
so
yeah, you're right. I keep thinking that's a Dark Energy. I can't unthink it.
Yeah. And then after the old weakness, that'll be a knockout. Do you consider yourself a fast player or a slow player in general?
Slow in general. Tend to overthink things a lot. Yeah, especially in the middle of the game.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I'm on average below. On average, I am below average speed. But if I were Liam here, I'd be playing a lot faster.
Yeah, I would do my best to play as fast as I can.
Yeah, that was kind of my segue to I think Liam should just be playing a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
It's possible he has more time than we think, but even if he does, he doesn't know that. Like, he should be trying to get this done, considering he has a fairly large lead right now, although that Yveltal will likely be able to respond and start some things going.
And it's going to take that KO. In just a second.
Go ahead and propagate, get some work done. Executor is such a cool card. Like this card that like seemingly doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah. There have been similar effects in the past as well.
Really?
Yeah, I believe there's been blockade effects, but never really saw play.
Or sorry, I meant execute, like the little guy.
Yeah.
Executor is also cool, but yeah, I know there's like they stand the dog from Black and White. He has a blockade like attack. Stoutland. There we go.
I think that's an ability too. But whatever.
That's true. Baby Yveltal on the bench for Alex. Darkness up top on that Yveltal.
So all he needs is a muscle band to KO the Flareon. This matchup is a lot closer than I expected it to be from the games we've seen.
I found in general that he'll also just be able to knock out the Flareon this turn.
Yeah.
He has a DC and the Dark on there.
Right.
But I found in general games with Liam's deck are pretty fun to watch. Like, there's just lots of little things that, at least as not being at the table, you miss. At least in my view, and the games have all been pretty back and forth.
Just gonna hope for a hand that gets Flareon online next turn. For a lot of damage.
Yeah. I'm not sure what his Flareon count is at the moment. I mean, if he somehow can respond with a Flareon knockout, it will be pretty good. I mean, he'll be able to go into 2 prizes. That Yveltal is waiting in the wings now. There's the Acrobike. Take a choice between a Bangle and something else. Discards the Bangle for another Acrobike. Discards a Water. I'm not sure what he took there. There's a Compressor. Getting rid of 3 Pokemon right into the discard pile. You have to believe that Liam at least doesn't have the KO yet, as he didn't take the Bangle. I mean, he might just have the KO, I guess, naturally, but not taking the Bangle there. There's a sign. Gonna go ahead and Diving Draw.
Now there, he has it.
There's the Bangle.
It's double colorless still.
He has it in
Has
hand.
that too.
Yeah. That muscle band is actually huge for Alex. It allowed him to Y-Cyclone.
Yep.
And kind of, because I think if he was forced to Evil Ball here, he would be in just such a worse position now. But now that he has the assumed response,
Yeah, it's actually going to be kind of tough for Liam to come back.
well, Alex
That
still have
KO?
4 prizes left though.
Yeah,
to Liam's
that's
2 is
true.
kind of my thought. Is Liam just is doing what his deck can do and is buying time. I'm gonna go ahead and Battle Compress.
Alright.
Go ahead and take a computer search.
Don't need that.
Not something you see every day. We're going to 2 prizes, and this is going to be a close one.
Yeah, definitely.
Alex still at 5 prizes. If he has energy or dark energy, he can take the KO here, bring him to another 4, and then Liam has to find a way to knock out 1 EX.
It won't be too difficult if Liam is forced to attack with the Empoleon. It'll be fairly easy for Alex to KO that with that same Yveltal. Or just swap back to the baby Yveltal as well.
Well, looks like Alex is making some considerations.
Yeah.
Masters, that was time.
Oh, no.
It's time. You're still
So
playing main event, that was time.
Liam will still have 2 turns here. He's on the better side of it.
Yeah, so Alex discarded the computer switch there.
No, I did have the energy.
Whatever, I guess.
And promotes an Audino. Diving draw. Do some propagating. This is turn 1 for those of you watching at home.
Trump card.
Yeah, there's a trump card. So what can Liam do here? So he...
You have to get... he has to be able to like 2-shot the Yveltal with Empoleon, I think is the most reasonable option. Although he's just gonna go for another Flareon, I think.
Yeah, he is going to
KO
get...
it.
He'll have this turn, so he has 2 Pokemon in the discard pile now. He'll have 3, assuming that Alex takes the knockout.
This is risky if he can't get 2 EV because Alex can play Gust Effect.
Well, the thing is, I think he just has to, like, he either wins or loses,
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean?
This is
And
pretty
like,
much his
but
only
and
out.
Alex can also just like not attack here.
Yeah, that's true too. Oh, alright.
That's reasonable as well. It's turn 2 though, so we're going to turn 3. And can Liam do
Let's
it?
see it.
Here's the Flareon. Diving draw Pokemon into the bench. Draw 2 cards, a Juniper in his hand. Acrobike. Discard a Pokemon to that Flareon and discard it. There we go.
This would be crazy if he could pull this off.
There's a Juniper.
There's the double colorless.
Yeah. I wish I could see how many. I think
know,
there's
I know.
4. There's Jirachi, the 2 eggs, the Flareon,
It's 5, I think.
5.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's not enough. 6. So that's not enough.
Getting closer. Acrobike.
Acrobike. No Pokemon in the Acrobike. He's going to take a double colorless.
He's out of options here.
Yeah, looks like he's doing the little
I can't win, I can't win, I
hand
can't win. Hand
shrugs.
gestures. Hoping
He does have
it
a Battle Compressor.
appears in his hand. Yeah. He must have missed the bangle or something.
I mean, even a Battle Compressor
Yeah,
only,
battle compressor's not enough.
only puts him to 9.
Yeah.
I think they may have been talking through like who would win in the next
Yeah.
few turns. Which would almost certainly be Liam. He took the other double colorless, so he can just attach and retreat. And then assuming
And then
that
attack with the Empoleon.
well, just, I mean, also that, but just like he could attach this turn if the game was going longer. Attach, retreat, let Empoleon get knocked out or whatever happens, and then just like have more resources next turn to dump into a big Flareon. Although 9,
Jeez.
not quite.
Just slide one in there, Liam. Or many in there.
That's 10.
Wow.
120.
That's still not enough. He almost certainly would win this game with that other Eevee, though. Like, that just seals it even more.
Yeah. Although he has gotten rid of the other Flareon, though.
He plays 4, right?
I don't know, let's find out. We do have his list on hand. He does have 4 Flareon, sorry. For some reason I thought he only played 3.
Town map. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So close. So he had 10, so he was doing 120. So he just needed 2 more with a Bengal, or 5 more.
Oh, man.
So looks like
That's some bad beats.
looks like there's a discussion happening over probably whether one player should concede to the other. Asking for concessions is not allowed, but I don't think that discussing the matches.
Yeah. Just don't put a question mark at the end of what you say.
Right.
2014 Washington Regional Champion runner-up Michael Chin informing us that they are talking about what a tie does here. I'm also just this is one thing I'm not actually sure on is whether you can just like play the next few turns and just like not sign your slip yet.
Yeah.
Like I assume that's at least frowned upon, but
Yeah.
I'm not. It's the same thing as just like kind of forgetting about your slip for a few minutes, which
Right.
people have done. I'm not advocating that. I just don't actually know if that's something that you can do. Because you have to believe that's virtually what's happening here, so they're just kind of trying to discuss what's going on.
Liam's hand is pretty dead, so he's relying on diving draw for the next turn. But, yeah. I mean, he can even attack with the Audino for a KO the turn afterwards, theoretically.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
You have to assume Alex just, like, doesn't want to concede here, right?
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Basically, not in a bad way or anything, but...
No, basically there's just no, like, again, they're not close friends.
Yeah.
It's not like one of them is close to their invite, one of them's not. There's just kind of no reason for them to.
Right.
They'll go to 14 points, which should be good enough for a top 16, definitely a top 32 at the very least.
Yeah.
It's just like, in a different situation, a concession there could be warranted, but among people who don't know each other when they're neither is close, I don't think it's really a thing that could happen. I do know that Liam's last, his opponent that we watched him play in round 5 did concede to go play the Wii Challenge.
Yeah.
So like Liam's already gotten pretty lucky once.
I don't know why he's doing these things he's doing.
I mean, I think that what Liam's trying to express, maybe he's just playing with his cards, but what he may be trying to express is how the next couple turns would work.
Right.
Like retreat to my egg, you either knock out the egg or don't. I guess I get a draw step, I diving draw that, and then if you choose...
There is no way for you to win. Let me show you.
Yeah, like if you choose to knock out the egg, I go to 11 Pokemon in the discard pile, like assuming that we're playing a normal game. Like, but it looks, by the look on both players' faces, it looks like we're going to go to a draw here. Pretty unfortunate to watch a match like that play out. I'd try not to harp too much on the time limit rules. It comes up, a couple times per event, basically, which I just think is, it comes up us discussing it a couple times per event, and it happens a lot more than a couple times. I think it's just too much. I'm a fan of other competitive games where if a draw happens, it's weird. People people will say that they've played X game for 10 years and they've had 3 unintentional draws or whatever. It's just
Yeah, this is another
not something
situation
that should
where
happen.
like 2 more turns or 5 more minutes or whatever.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Liam was trying to display that
completed the game.
in 2 more turns, the game would definitely end.
Yeah.
And it might have just ended in 1 more turn with Liam, but but so we're gonna go to a.
Liam's swearing at us, so we have to go now.
We're gonna go to a break here. We're gonna eat some dinner. Let the top 8 be announced. Check our Facebook page at facebook.com/OTB Pokemon, and you can. We'll post the top 8 there. We'll also post a link of to where you can vote on which match you want to see. So that should be in the next few minutes. Thank you guys for watching, and sad game.